Hi guys, and welcome to Cultnomics. My name is Paul Hanley, and today I'm going to be chatting to you about perfect competition in the short run. Okay guys, for perfect competition, there are a few key characteristics that you would need to know that underlie the market structure. The first key characteristic refers to the number of firms in the market, and this would tend to be very large, maybe even up on 10,000, so quite a number of suppliers in this market. Secondly, they supply a good that would be considered homogeneous, in that they are identical products with very little product differentiation, very little advertising. Number three, there are very few barriers to entry within this market, and firms are free to enter without government restrictions or very large costs involved. Number four, people are assumed to know a lot of information about the market based on the consumer and the producer side in terms of costs and prices and so on. And finally, firms are assumed to profit maximize and set and produce where MC equals MR. Okay guys, for perfect competition we're going to take the example of the market for coffee beans. This would be a relatively homogeneous or identical product, and there would be a large number of suppliers on the market. So we're going to start off with the market over here on the left hand side. We're just going to label that with price up here on the y-axis, quantity down on the x-axis. We'll call it the market for coffee beans. And in this market we're going to have a traditional downward sloping demand curve, which tells us that as the price decreases, ceteris paribus, quantity demanded increases. We'll also have a traditional supply curve in the market, which shows us that as prices increase in the market, quantity supplied tends to increase, ceteris paribus. We'll just label these as supply over here and demand down here. Where these two come together, we have equilibrium as indicated by the purple dot, and markets will clear in this case if the price is set at P1 and the quantity is Q1 in the market. So this would be market clearing in this case, and what we're going to see is that each individual firm or farmer in this case is a price taker on the market. And what that means is for each individual firm here is indicated that charges a price and produces a quantity, they will take the price set out on the market over here. So they're going to charge for their product P1 for everything that they sell. Because of this, they have a relatively special demand curve, and this demand curve is horizontal, sometimes called perfectly elastic, and we're just going to label that as both the demand curve and the marginal revenue curve. The reason for that is because the firm charges P1 for every unit sold, the change in its total revenue is the exact same for each unit sold. It's P1, so the demand curve is the marginal revenue curve. Very special case. Also for a firm we need some information on their costs. What I'm going to do here is draw down a U-shaped average total cost curve that we've seen before, and a marginal cost curve that intersects that at its very lowest point, so marginal cost here. Each firm in perfect competition is assumed to produce at profit maximization where MC equals MR. So to find that point in our graph, we have an MC curve up here. Our marginal revenue curve is the purple straight line. So they intersect at the red dot. We already know that profit maximizing for the firm is P1, but what this allows us to do is predict the quantity produced as well. So we've got Q1 down here. Finally, we can look at where this vertical line hits the average total cost curve, and at this point it gives us the per unit cost of production of these firms. Because there's a difference between the price level, which is higher than the cost level, this particular firm here in the short run is earning a profit. And in particular, it's earning a profit level across the dashed lines here in this rectangle, and we call this supernormal profits. So in our special case here, this firm only in the short run is earning supernormal profits and is a profit maximizing firm. I hope you call back to Cultnomics soon. Bye for now.